In the overall portrait of Manchester United's powerful renaissance under the reign of manager Michael Carrick, there is no figure more radiant and symbolic than the peak sublimation of Captain Bruno Fernandes. The Portuguese midfielder has just been officially honored as the Premier League Player of the Month for March, an award that not only recognizes his brilliant individual form, but also serves as a steel-clad affirmation of his status in the new era at Old Trafford. This is the sixth time in his career that Bruno has received this noble title, a milestone that helps him surpass a series of other heavy-duty candidates such as James Garner, Danny Welbeck, Anthony Gordon, or David Raya, to monopolize the spotlight of the harshest league on the planet. The explosion of the star born in 1994 is not a mere coincidence, but is closely linked to the subtle and sensitive tactical adjustments from Michael Carrick. The English strategist, with a deep understanding of the space and tempo of a world-class midfielder, decided to push Bruno Fernandes to play significantly higher than before, allowing him to operate as a completely free attacking playmaker. This pivotal change has liberated Bruno from the usual suffocating defensive pressures, ceding the deep-lying space for the young talent Kobbie Mainoo to dictate the play, thereby helping the number 8 captain maximize his innate creative instincts. Turning Bruno into the central nucleus of a fiery attacking style has directly molded a Red Devils side that is more mercurial and lethal than ever, to the extent that early leaked information from the FC26 game update also had to acknowledge his irreplaceable status with superior statistics. The absolute influence of the Portuguese star is specifically evidenced through the dry but heavy statistical figures in Manchester United's journey to solidify third place on the rankings. Up to the current point of the season, Bruno Fernandes has owned 8 goals, and especially a record figure of 16 assists in the Premier League. With this achievement, he has officially surpassed the record for the number of assists in a single season set by the legend David Beckham in the historic 1999-2000 season. Breaking a milestone that existed for more than 2 decades of an icon like Beckham is not only an affirmation of individual class, but also shows a world-class level of performance from Bruno since the day he set foot in the Theatre of Dreams from Sporting CP. He is not merely a good player, but is playing football with the mindset of a conqueror of historical limits, a man with iron lungs, serving as the soul for both the club and the national team. This destructive form not only helps Manchester United move closer than ever to a prestigious Champions League berth, but also makes him a leading candidate for the Premier League Player of the Year title. Even at the national team level, Bruno's influence is currently assessed by experts as having surpassed even his great senior Cristiano Ronaldo right on the eve of the 2026 World Cup. His latest performance in the maroon jersey is the strongest message sent to the entire Premier League about an absolute dominance. Following Portugal's 2-0 victory over the United States national team, enthusiasts all agree that Bruno Fernandes is in his most frightening state of form, ready to crush every defensive barrier in the sprint phase of the 2025-26 season. Reality has proven that form in the national team jersey has never been an issue for Fernandes, even when he had a period of difficulty at Manchester United under former manager Ruben Amorim due to systemic limitations. However, since Carrick took power and returned him to his preferred attacking midfield position, Bruno has been like a fish in water, playing with extreme sublimation and inspiration.
The match against the US team was a typical example when Portugal needed to salvage pride after a disappointing draw against Mexico. There, Fernandes displayed a class completely different from the rest. He played the role of the conductor, regulating the match with 75 touches and 54 accurate passes, constantly putting the opponent's defense in a state of red alert. His trademark creativity helped the Iberian team break the deadlock with 2 class assists for teammates to score. The absolute trust that coach Roberto Martinez has for Bruno was shown by the fact that he let him play for 85 minutes, while 7 other positions in the starting lineup were all substituted immediately after the first half to save energy.
The most important highlight that this performance sends to English football is the great historical goal in the Premier League that Bruno is aiming for. With 16 assists currently, he is only 4 more setups away from the all-time record of geniuses like Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. In the context that the season still has 7 rounds ahead, establishing a new record with 21 assists is entirely feasible, especially when teammates at Old Trafford are maintaining a sharpness similar to the strikers in the national team. The only obstacle that could stand in his way is the finishing ability of the surrounding satellites, such as the way his teammates squandered up to 5 clear-cut opportunities he created in the draw with Mexico. However, under the honing of the current Manchester United coaching staff, the Red Devils' attack is gradually perfecting itself to turn Bruno's silver platter passes into goals as precious as gold. If the attack performs to its true strength, it is only a matter of time before Bruno Fernandes enters the temple of the greatest assist legends in English football history. In addition to conquering numbers, he is also silently asserting his position in the race for supreme individual titles, such as the Ballon d'Or. Journalist Dale O'Donnell rightly noted that if Manchester United were in the right position to compete at the European peak, Bruno would certainly be a heavyweight candidate for the Ballon d'Or, because his individual efforts make him a true monster that any defense must be wary of. The message has been clearly sent. Bruno Fernandes is at the peak of his form, and he will not stop until his name is carved into the most brilliant golden pages of the football of the Land of Mist. Only factors beyond control could stop the footsteps of this talented captain in the journey to conquer new heights in the summer of 2026, bringing Manchester United fans a fulfilling conclusion to a volatile but also extremely sublimated season. With the sublimation of nuclei like Bruno or Kobe Mainoo, the belief in a former glory is gradually returning to burn brightly at Old Trafford, where the number 8 captain is writing new chapters of history with magical feet and a warrior spirit that never gives up. The Temple of Legends is opening its doors to welcome him, and with current form, no one is more deserving than Bruno Fernandes to inherit and surpass the greatest legacies that predecessors have left in this league. Entering the final stage of the season, every match featuring Bruno now becomes an artistic performance, where efficiency and aesthetics blend into one, promising to bring unprecedented records and a unique status for the talented Portuguese midfielder before entering the highly anticipated 2026 World Cup campaign.